Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video where today we are going to be reviewing, I can't believe I'm doing this, we're going to be reviewing the BDR G1. God fucking damn it. So, believe it or not, when I created this free-to-play account, the first tank line I decided to grind down was the French heavies. And the single shots, by the way, because I hadn't grinded that on my main account. And while I did go down the G1R to go down this because that seemed like a much more durable tank, and spoiler alert, it probably is. Something I want to do on this account is 3-mark every tank and play to 101 games, and every tank tier 5 and up. So I did also get the BDR G1, is that the name of it? I'm not actually looking at my at the name of it, so I don't actually remember. So this tank it isn't anymore, but it was in my garage for like 3 or 4 months. And I finally got around to finishing it. Not finishing the 3 mark, just finishing it. So I'm going to review it. Let's just get on to the stats. Let's start with the armor of this thing. It's a tier 5 heavy tank. If any of you have played tier 5, you'll know what that's like. It's gonna advance tier 4s. You can kind of side scrape with it. So the mobility is it's slow. It's really slow. Moving on. So the gun. The one interesting aspect about this tank, it has a 240 alpha gun and something like 135 penetration on that gun. But the gun handling is dreadful. Who gives a shit about the DPM? It's a tier 5 for fuck's sake. You're going to 2-shot everything you face. Now, with that out of the way with, I think it's about time we stop going over all the stats. We've gone in-depth on them enough as it is. I think it's about time we put the tank into action, put her through her pacers. How does she perform? Let's see in the replays. Okay, so for this first match, we're beginning 2 minutes in because watching me drive to the battle for 2 minutes is kind of boring. I think we're on the highway map. It's encounter, so we're in the city because we're a heavy tank. And we put 2 shots in already, one into that Lux you saw, and I think there's a Stug also we put a shot into. I don't remember the replay exactly, I'm kind of just winging it at the moment, but we're going to side scrape here against this captured KV-1 and try to put shots into the cheeks of his turrets because we should be able to pin it. And apparently, actually, it kind of looks like he's side scraping, but we are not really hitting the cheeks of this guy, unfortunately. And by the way, oh wait, I do have 6th Sense. Oh my god, I was about to say I didn't, but I guess I did actually have 6th Sense at the time. Not gonna lie, I kind of switched out my crews a whole bunch in this thing several times because I had several tanks better to put the crew in. But enough of that, we snap a shot on whatever tank that was. I think the Italian tier 4. He gets a shot into us, and we're going to try to get a shot into this Matilda in order to reset the base, but somebody else does it for us, so it doesn't matter too much. Fortunately, the Churchill puts a round into us, which is utterly devastating, and we're going to finish him off, and okay, I guess we're not going to finish him off. That's okay, fine, okay. I'm going to side scrape because we can do that in this tank, and then aim a shot into the cheeks of the Churchill and go straight through because this gun has really good penetration. But we gotta get in that cap, start resetting. We're gonna go for this T14 since he's a premium tank, and usually people driving premium tanks at this tier probably have some idea of what they're doing and are probably seal clubbing like utter cunts. Now we're gonna go for this captured KV-1 because that is the seal clubber's dream. We aim that shot into the dead wreck of the T-34, but fortunately it goes up into the captured KV-1, and we end his seal clubbing days, for at least this match. Now we go around the corner, finish off the T-14, and now this Matilda seems like he wants to come around and get some, and this is very bad for us, although we bounce a shot somehow, and Somehow we're actually taking the shots fairly well here. He does pin us with that shot, but we finish him off since the Matilda Black Prince is a terrible machine. Now we got this M5 Stewart. Now is this guy going to save the match for his team? No, of course he's not. We're in a fucking tier 5, unintentionally seal clubbing in a tier 5, yes. Now we aim a shot in at the captured KV-1. Now I probably should have gone for the hull, but I went for the turret, although it doesn't really matter since we killed him. And we got a Top Gun, 2200 damage, and now it's on to the hunt for whatever that medium tank is on the enemy team. I'm not quite sure what it is because I am not looking at the map, but I decided to back up here because maybe he is coming for me and I'm a one-shot, but it turns out he's hunting the artillery, and it is a Ram 2. So at this point we're just going to load the skill round since I just want to make every shot count, because this actually could be a close match. We only have an M5 Stewart, me and the artillery left, and if this guy does kill the artillery without too much of a problem, then us facing him is going to be a problem because he can one-shot us. Granted, it's more of a 50-50 for a one-shot, but still nonetheless. And the speed is really coming into play right now. You know, we're really slow. It's a really slow machine. But fortunately, the artillery finishes the enemy Ram 2 off, and that ends our pitiful misery and existence in this tier 5 match where we were top tier. And in that match, we actually did get a very rare medal. We got the DeLangley's medal, which made this probably the most interesting match I will ever have in this fucking machine. So, you know, DeLangley's medal, Top Gun, we actually did get a steel wall medal. I think that's a Spartan medal or something like that. Obviously a mastery. So that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so for this next match, it's going to be a hell of a match, and I can tell because I literally named the file in my replays folder Bland Misery. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and we are actually in a tier 7 match, so this can really showcase what you are capable of doing when you're bottom tier. And as you can see, we're doing the classic rule of sniping at a tier 6 medium tank and bouncing. Since that is the classic thing to do in a bottom tier heavy tank in this kind of a matchup. By the way, we are on Erlenberg and it is assault. Now, I do not know it's assault because I was playing this thing too much and my mind literally just kind of went blank for the period of time I was playing it. It was almost like blacked out. Probably not healthy for me, but anyway. Fuck, my dog is barking in the background. But as you can see, we're charging in the middle of the map simply because I am trying to... Shut up! Good girl! Anyway, we're charging the middle of the map because I was chasing damage since I only had my 2 mark, and I just wanted to get the 3rd mark as soon as possible because I just didn't want to ever have to worry about that. Not that I was going to probably have to, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to worry about it. So we're doing something ridiculous and charging the middle of the map. And we're going to see if we can scout the enemy team with our binocs, because that's one of the equipment I'm running on this thing. Now, if you're wondering why I'm running binocs, it's to be economical, because this is a tier 5 and I don't want to have to waste 20 gold taking off more equipment than I need to in this thing. Now we're going to snipe the sides of these Onis and M6s, particularly this Oni, because apparently we're the only one in a position to do damage to him, which is, honestly, that's quite typical. Of course, I'm the only one in a position to do damage to him in my tier 5 heavy tank. But, enough griping about what we have to do. We're going to put a shot into this M6, who is going to actually be much easier for us to penetrate, since, you know, it's not Japanese and a heavy tank. Now that Oni has kind of wisened up to us being over here, and we're going to load the gold and shut up. And we're going to load the we're going to load the gold. And oh shit, he's looking at us. We're going to back up. Now we're just going to sit here. You know, this is what you can expect from a tier 7 game. Now we are going to attempt to side scrape, which well, you know what? He didn't hit us, so that means it worked. That means it did technically work. He did not hit us and pet us, so it technically worked. Hooray! We're gonna try it again because maybe we can bounce a shot. Maybe we can bait it. Oh, wait, nope, we cannot. Well, that is unfortunate. The armor doesn't quite work the same in a tier 7 match, which may be surprising. I don't know if it is. If it is, well, it's actually not surprising. Now we finally shot into the side of the Oni, and we're still the only one that has damaged him, by the way. So we are going to continue to be the only one to damage him and try to nail a shot into his track. It bounces because, you know, we don't really have a shot. Kind of just pretending to have a shot, but then we get a shot. And yeah, that's yeah, it's awesome. This is a very awesome match. Our team is we're technically tied 3-3. We're gonna see if we can help this medium tank, but this thing isn't quite fast enough to get away from an Oni that you've pissed off for the whole game. So we do unfortunately die, and that T-34-100 is unfortunately going to die. And that's pretty much the match. I don't have the end of game result screen, but I'm just showing you this one since it's one of the only replays I have to show you of this tank, and since you know, this is just to give you an idea of what to expect, or what to possibly expect when you're bottom tier. This T-34 2G fortunately did win us the match, and I don't really think I care too much. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so for this next match, I'm mostly going to let it play out because I think it's time I answer the question that's on everybody's minds, because everybody's been asking, all the top players, you know, that Dez guy, a Skizfizz, a Clone guy, a Quickie Baby, a Jingles, everyone has been asking which tank do you, the BDR G1B or the G1R, the tier 5 French medium tank or the tier 5 French heavy tank. And to answer that question, if you're genuinely curious, get the G1R. Yeah, you know, everybody's been just asking that question lately. It's been on everybody's minds. I mean, I just had a game in the tier 9 KPZ where I did 7,800 damage, and instead of finishing the 3 mark on that, you know, I've put the time. I've already invested too much time anyway. I put the time into reviewing this tank because it's just so imperative, and everybody wants to know. Everybody. No, I love this tank. It's amazing. It's just fantastic. It's just great. Yeah. That really, it's just great. And you know, the best part about this tank, if I just skip through the match, because this match is not interesting, it was actually the final match. The best part about this tank is when you sell it, it just feels absolutely amazing.
I thought I had it all together. I was led astray. Was sticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
Subscribe or I'll focus you in my artillery.
When you look in the face, all that